What is up, everybody? Happy Monday, starting of a new week, a new day, a new dawn, a new year. Happy New Year, late, belated Happy New Year, everybody. It's good for us, bad for a lot of people around the world. A lot. And I don't know, I kind of got spun by that, latest Rehab Room video. I don't know, is it just me? Or like when you have like faith in somebody or like you want someone to do well and like help other people or whatever, and then like suddenly like you realize like it's hopeless, or as they say, it's over before it even began. Rehab room, is that what you're doing? And then you just like dwell in the cowardice. The cowardice of this guy to run away from this like knifed attacker that's attacking this woman for her phone, and she's left to fend for herself. And it's like, yeah, you're having like a little like chuckle at her expense. It's like you kind of get the feeling that, and it's not. I don't think it's just like limited to this guy. That like a lot of guys out there are seeing this like sadistic pleasure in the pain of women. Like in general, it doesn't even have to be like a specific one. It could just be like, "Oh, you women, you you women." I saw this one. Like, I actually left a comment in it. I don't know if anybody took it seriously. Just joking. And it's like something like, "Women are losers" or something like that. Okay, all right, all right. This is where we're at right now in society, man. Oh, and by the way, it's one of those videos. I love these videos of the guy. He gets in the car. He has the camera on him. He gets in that spot in the fucking parking lot. And he's just speaking his mind. He's letting loose. He's gotta lay it out. Lay it out for you women, you losers. Oh, but it's actually true. Like, around the world, women can't all be winners. And that's what this video is all about. It's why we white knight, why us real men, us simps, as they call us, cucks, betas, gaylords, the F words. I'm probably gonna get like banned if I like. Oh, okay, actually, so I made this like video, and I'm probably gonna have to make like another one because I feel bad about more Pegasus. Like, I gave him I made this video for him, and then like it couldn't get released because I put, and it wasn't like I intentionally did this. I just put like the beginning of the song, and I was just like listening to it on the computer, whatever, YouTube's and shit, and then like I don't know, the AI picked up on it, and then it's just like automatic copyright strike. Like, oh god damn it. And it's like, how do I want to edit this? And I'm just like, okay, I'll just make a new video and apologize for it. Maybe he watched it, maybe he didn't. Maybe like whatever, right? Like, ladies and gentlemen, the much appreciated, the greatest hero of our lifetime in terms of like YouTube, like slop history, more Pegasus, Asmongold getting under attack, like giving up on his like convictions. He's like, I don't want to do politics anymore. Oh, dude, and like sorry for like getting off track here, but like you can't choose that shit, man. Like once you put your foot in this swamp, there's no getting out. It's like that one thing in like the Lord of the Rings. If you don't have like a golem, like stuck in this like forest, and like you see these people like they're stuck in the ground, and then like you look at them, and they're like, and you hear this like dramatic music playing, and you get sucked in because it's like whatever. Yeah, like that. Gollum. But don't worry, my precious. I'm gonna tell you like straight up, man. Like you can't give up on your convictions because you've won. You've basically defeated Hassan. Like I don't understand like how you're not like seeing this, and you're like saying, yeah, I want to give up on politics. Like look at what you like, how much damage you've done. Okay, Hassan, the nation of Iran, Lebanon, um, I guess you could argue, but like that's not really your like influencer and shit. Like so like you know what I mean? Like a bunch of people that like have like received like the harsh reality that like you can't, do whatever you want in life. You have to like, tie it back and be like, hey, you know what? People gotta live. I gotta live. You know, we just can't have this like way where I just take over in my way of the highway, or people like enter into the country illegally and like basically commit crime in perpetuity, so that like whatever for whatever reason, right? Like I think like Asmongold, we're all stuck in on this crusade, if you will, for justice for the women, especially the women around the world who can't like benefit at all from my bullshit or anybody else's, because they're just caught in like a situation where okay, so like I said before, I was hesitant to be grateful or like excited about the whole liberation of Iran, and so far, um, right now, there's been a casualty rate of about 544, and then something like 10,000 estimated arrests. So it's beginning the realization that you can't apply, first world freedoms to third world countries. It's just the way it is. And people are going to be upset that I call Iran a third world country. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you one way or the other. And I understand that, like, insults can be, whatever, right? Like, you're not going to solve anything by like arguing for it or against it. So to that, I say that like, as men, we've collectively failed women. Like, just like how I failed this like Risk of Rain run. Uh, you know, that's why we have to white knight for them. You know, it's not just our duty. It's like if we don't do it, like history is gonna say like we're the biggest losers and weaklings the world's ever seen. Um, like I think that this is like one of those things where the threat against women is so great and so like fucking vast that the constant amount of downplaying of violence against them has led to this. So what I'm talking about is the whole falsified refugee crisis, um, the lack of like empathy for the general public, because it's like there's going to be guys out there, guys from Iran, other places who like are genuine refugees, and because of so many other men entering into these countries, like the strain not only on like the social system, social assistance services, whatever, right? On top of like people's patience with them, right? It's just gotten to like an all-time low, and I'm actually beginning to think about what if, right? And I was talking to my mom about this. What if this was done by design, right? So I asked my mom because she's in like finance, like what if they knew ahead of time, like these world leaders like Iran, Egypt, just basically every single country that had like their version of the Arab Spring, and then subsequently Iran right now, right? Like if they knew when like the money was gonna be like running out, or like the currency, this and that, and like yeah, most likely. And they can even predict it and stuff. So they're most likely staying to like siphon as much resources and money out of the country before it became a bankrupt state, and now the currency is like worthless. And we're living in a dire situation where, and this is why I want to know whether it was intentional or not. So like these women are genuine refugees, right? And this is why I say like, we as men we have to white knight whether we want to or not, because history is going to remember us as the biggest weaklings if we don't, because of all the failures of the men that came in the generations before us. Like this is very much a fault of the people who were in charge and had the power and the influence over the years. So like you could argue that's me because I turned 40 and I should have done more. Like arguably I would debate the validity of that, like our armed forces or any other world military, their involvement in this right now is mostly going to be like airborne. So like they're just America's just going to drop bombs on them basically. So like there's nothing I would be able to do personally. Sadly, even though that is like a cope, I guess. But that's why I'm making this video. That's why I'm like voicing my opinion about it. That's why I want to make it as visible and as vocal as humanly possible because like there is the reality of our world, which is the sad truth that we have to embrace. And I'm also glad, as a quick aside, that I made this video like later on because I was just like watching video after video after video. excuse excuse me. Oh my goodness. So I'm subscribed to this YouTuber, and I think she's like fairly young, Misha Petrov, and like she's like this Russian slash American YouTuber with like she used to have like a centrist, like leaning to the right opinion, but then like much like Asmongold, like she just now is spacing, like distancing herself from politics. And I think in her position, like she can pull that off because like she's not this like gigantic name with like tons of people like tuning in to like watch her and stuff. But I bring this up as an aside because okay, so she made this video recently that I watched and I rewatched it because it it affected me personally, right? So as you might be able to see by my profile picture, and like if you happen to come across my Instagram, I'll actually link my Instagram in my this YouTube video, so like people can get an idea of like who I am and like what I look like and this and that. Because I think like the whole anonymous type of approach and angle, it only benefits like young people, like you know what I mean, like I think it's just like a space for them and like specifically maybe women so that like they can protect their identity from just the internet in general. And like you could argue that like it should be the same for me and like it should be universal for all genders and like whatever. Like I think it's like a more of a um status type thing. So like you know what I mean, like a guy like me who's just like doing this for fun, this and that, like I don't really care. Okay, like nobody cares about me. Nobody wants really to endorse my opinions. Like I'm more or less shadow banned or this or that. Like it's the way the world is, right? But besides the point. So in this video that she made, um, oh, and by the way, like disclaimer, I don't represent her views. This, that, blah, blah, blah. She has this response to this guy who is going into like the men's bathroom, and much like myself, he's wearing eccentric uh, clothing. He has glitter around his eyes. I think he's wearing lipstick. I'm not sure. I was like actually pretty like I like the way he looked. Looked really nice to me anyway, right? I don't know honestly if I can pull it off the way he would. Like I don't think like I have the skin tone or like the body for that. But more to the point, right? Like this guy went into the bathroom, followed him in, and just started like harassing and berating him nonstop. So this like took place in Missouri, so I'm pretty sure like that's sort of southern, more hyper conservative state. And for personal experience, like I moved out to Brampton and stuff, and it's like I live near some evangelical whatever, and I jog there a lot, and I get harassed there nonstop. At first, it was because like they didn't recognize me, and I was like jogging with this like weighted vest, and they thought I was like a bomb or something, and I had all these cops following me. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna let them see my nail polish, wear lipstick, and like, I know, like, you know what I mean? Do a complete U-turn of like, okay, this is what a terrorist would not do. And now they just harass me. Like the locals, I mean, not the police. Um, but like, yeah, like the way this guy was like, being berated by this guy, like, I'm not saying that specifically happens to me, but I very much feel that energy, especially when I go into bathrooms and stuff. That's why I said, like, I've made a habit of not making eye contact with people. I just don't look at them. And I think, like, this is a very important, like, lesson to be learned from because I think, and I don't know if I'm alone on saying this, but I think that we're still dealing with, like, an never-ending, like, sea of guys who think and feel this way, where they're just highly repressed, and it's like, okay, fine, you can't express yourself, or you are attracted to him, or like you know what I mean? Like it's just weird, right? And he's in the men's bathroom, which is like what really, I don't know. I wouldn't say ticks me off, but like again, I've experienced this before. And like my advice to, whatever, like people who are like me, men, individuals, whatever, is like, okay, don't make eye contact with people and don't, I don't know. I guess, um, like I don't even know if like if beyond that I can give any advice because what I'm gonna segue into is like, can you imagine entire like sums of the world's population that are like this, and we're at the mercy of their lack of emotional control. Like they're just like a step away from insane people, right? And the parallels that I draw like between them and like these protesters in Minneapolis that are like, outwardly, not only being obnoxious for the sake of whatever, right? Like they just want these obviously criminal elements to remain in their, state to, um, I guess, throw criticism at Trump or whatever, the party. But in reality, all that it is, like all that it amounts to is like, the parallel between, Hamas using civilians as human shields and then like the indoctrination subsequently of it. It's like, okay, if you like us, right, you support Allah, you support like whatever, our religion and shit. And that's like that kind of like mental disparity that you can kind of see parallel between these like, political parties and like people in it with their kids in the car and they're like, doing shit, and then they turn around, they cry, and they make it so obvious, and it's just like it's the exact same thing as these terrorists do. It's the exact same thing as these cowards do. Like they're insecure. They know they're not going to win, but like they're also like a little bit on the soulless side. And now real women around the world are going to suffer as a result of their, I guess, malice. Because I don't know how else to describe it. It's actually, kind of like touching when you think about it because it reassures you that if you do the right thing, right, as a man, like the thing that people don't want you to do, they don't want you to say, and will lead to their ultimate like demise of their like entire movement and everything. Like, it will actually change things, but we all need to believe in ourselves and each other. This is a grim, optimism. So I want you all to carry on into the new year, but embrace pain and seek strength, a greater strength to help the world heal.